welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thanks for being a consistent and watching all my uploads till this day. I really appreciate you guys so much. If you've not subscribed to my channel, I honestly don't know what you're waiting for. Do you need a minute to subscribe? Because I'm waiting on you to subscribe. Anyways, guys, so as you can see, I'm a little dressed up and everything. I actually just came. I went out for dinner. So I was like, this is such a perfect opportunity to just film myself because I'm in the mood to talk. And I was like, why not? So yeah, this is me just out from dinner. I had a great dinner. I actually went to the Nines in Cape Town. So I had fish. I was in the mood of grabbing some fish. So I had some fish. And yeah, I'm back at my place now. So today's video, I wanted it to be more of like me giving advice. So advice on what exactly? So I've literally clocked 1 year since moving out of my parents' place. So I just want to give advice to anyone that's number one, obviously deciding to make the big move. My apologies, decide to make the big move. What should you expect? Number one, moving out of your parents' house. How do you navigate the newfound freedom? Obviously, having balance between, going out and everything and also having your priorities in order, how I manage that, and just also like what to expect. Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on this public holiday. Just wanted to share some news with you guys. Today is a really big day for me. I moved out of my parents' house. I'm living in my own place that I'm renting out. It's really huge for me because I never thought at such a young age I'd be able to accomplish that. Previously, I was out of my parents' place when I was living on residence, but I don't think it's the same scenario. This is something that I've done and I'm doing for myself. Super emotional. I know I was crying when on my way here driving here, but I just want to encourage everyone out there. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, you need to sacrifice and push to get it. And once you get it, it feels so damn good. You deserve all the good things coming your way. So yeah, I'm super excited for this chapter of my life. So just a little bit of backstory on my story of obviously deciding to do the big move from my parents' house. So I've always been living with my parents. I mean, duh. But I think just from a young age, I always wanted independence and just kind of to experience that. I remember as a child, I always told myself, I really want to have my own place and have fancy clothes and go out to restaurants and just be that girl. And the fact that I was able to give myself that dream that I always longed for, it's like, Barbara, you made it. You actually made it. So I always knew that I wanted that independence away from home. I always wanted that independence before getting into marriage because once you as a woman, once you get married, you really don't have independence because now you're a wife, you're a mother. So I said I want to make my 20s just that year where I get that independence away from my parents' house before I obviously look to settle into marriage and whatnot. Obviously, guys, to move out, I needed to have a stable job. Right? A stable job that listen, you are getting a fixed salary coming in every month. With me at the time, so the company I'm currently working for, I started working in April of 2023, right? And obviously the contract I was on was as a contract worker. So it basically meant that anytime they could fire me, all right? Anytime my job is on the line. So even with that in mind, I didn't let it stop me from pursuing my dream of moving out of my parents' house. So I said, even though, Barbara, I'm stepping into this job and my future in this job is not secured, I'm going to make sure I work my ass off to ensure I stay in my job and I'm able to pay for my place. And that's just the thing about adulting and just coming into the adult world. You make risks, and some risks are just worth making. And these are just one of the risks that I feel like, damn, this risk was worth taking. Because had I not moved out of my parents' house, I would not know the pressure of having to make sure I succeed every month so I'm able to pay my rent. So when I got my first paycheck, I know I started in April of 2023. When I got paid my first paycheck, guys, I swear to God, paid my deposit, paid my first month's rent. Okay. So when it came to finding accommodation, or what advice I would give if you want to move out for the first time, I'd say if you're starting out, try and get a shared space. Just because rent in Cape Town is ridiculous. Let's be for real. And for someone that's just moving out of your parents' place, you do not want rent to be 50% of what you're earning, okay? You want rent to probably be about 40%. 30 to 40% should go to rent of your salary or whatever you're getting as an income, okay? So I would say get a shared place, see what it's like to live with people. It also teaches you a lot about yourself that you didn't know when it comes to living with people, understanding that you can get to live with different personalities and just need to know how to get along with people. So my advice would be number one, getting a shared place, okay? Renting a room. So with me, I'm currently renting a room in a shared space. I think we are about... How many housemates? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. So we're about 6, 7 people in the house. It's a really, really big house, but everybody has their own room. Everybody has their own space. And I think being here just over a year, I absolutely love it just because I get along with my housemates. I mean, I think I'm just bit of the loud one, but I think they understand me. I love to blast my music during the weekend. I think my housemates understand me and they don't really complain about that. But yeah, living with people just shows you how you actually get along with people, and it also shows you on just your people skills, you know. So I would say number one, try and get a shared place before your own place. Be careful of scams. Let me actually tell you of this story when I was actually searching for a place. So I was searching for a place online, So I think there was like this 2-bedroom house. They said it was a 2-bedroom house in Rondebosch. Guess how much it was going for? 6K. I was like, what? 2 bedrooms for 6K? I need that place. So now I'm contacting the guy. I'm like, oh my word, like, I love this place. It's a 2-bedroom. Like, can we make plans to come and see the place? Then he was like, no, you need to send me money first and then we can organize. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, how much do you need me to send you? So he was like, you need to send me 1 month deposit. I was like, okay, cool, guys, just understand I'm very vulnerable now and gullible because like I don't know anything about moving out. So this person seems legit, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll get the money transferred to you and then I'll come and see the place later. And then I wanted to ask a friend of mine that was like really a tech freak. So I asked him, what do you think of this place? Like, this place is going for 6K, 2-bedroom for 6K. Can you believe that? He was like, Barbara, rubbish. That is not true. Send me the pictures. I sent him the pictures of the place. This guy Google searches the image. We find out that this place is actually in Johannesburg. It's not even in Cape Town. So this man was lying. Be careful of scams. There are a lot of scams. If somebody's telling you to send money before viewing the place, scam alert. Scam alert, okay? You want to make sure you do not send any money to anyone if you've not viewed any place, if you've not seen any contract, because there are lots of scammers. I know a lot of people that got scammed thinking they were going to a place and that is not the case. So I almost got scammed. So please make sure you do not fall for scams. Directly communicate with the landlord instead of agencies. Guys, I just feel like, okay, it just depends on what your budget is, honestly. But if you not on the high spectrum of earning, I'd advise you to directly communicate with the landlord, because with the landlord, number one, you can negotiate just on whether you can pay deposit over a few months. You can negotiate on just terms and conditions. But when you speak with agents, agents have fees, they have processes, and there are already processes in place, and guys, it's expensive. All right, because now you need to pay agent fees, you need to pay application fees, then you still need to pay your deposit. Like, agents is expensive. Directly, I'd advise from me, directly communicate with the landlord, make arrangements with the landlord. It just makes life so much easier. Okay, make sure you always have your rent money. Guys, do not play with the roof over your head. All right? Every time the salary hits the account, my landlord gets his notification. All right? Before I pay for anything, I make sure the roof over my head is covered for. All right? I do not want to be out in the streets, honey. I don't know. I really value my place and my space. The first thing I pay off when I get paid. All right. So make sure you always have your rent money. And what I can say on top of that as well is make sure you have your rent money for the current month, and maybe you have next month's rent saved. That'd be a good idea, because anything can happen during the course of that month. You want to make sure that your ass is covered. Okay, should anything happen at the present month, you know you're covered for next month, then you could probably get on your feet, try and find another job to get you into the following month. Okay, so my advice would be make sure you pay your rent on time the first month and have the next month's rent saved, guys. Have it saved. It's so important. That brings me to my next point: savings. Savings is extremely important. Make sure you have a savings account. Guys, we are grown, old, and ugly. We need to have savings. We cannot be living like tomorrow is our last day. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to make sure there's a portion of your money going into a savings account. And guys, let me be honest about the savings chair. Sometimes it be really hard because I do have a savings account, but sometimes, things get really hard and I'm like, I really need this money. And it's like, oh, my bank is going to charge me if I transfer money from my savings to my current account when it's not the time I've stipulated that I will need it. But it's also nice to have a savings account because you have something to fall back on should anything happen. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you have a savings account. I think it's just going to really help you getting through the month and making sure that you are okay. All right. Then the next point that it brings me on to is have a life. Like, as much as you in your own space, you'd be so tempted to just be cooped up in your place and like not want to step outside. But guys, this is literally the best years of your life. Go out there and live. Have a freaking life. You cannot be in your house 24/7. All right. So make sure you're making time to go out with your friends and you're having fun and you're having friends over. I'm just very picky with who I allow over in my space, just because I'm just really wary of my circle. So I really just have people I trust that come visit my place. But if you have a circle of friends that you really trust, have them come over. It just makes your space more lively. Every time I have my friends at my place, it makes me feel happy because it's like, oh, we have our own cocoon and we can be happy. Like, I love when my friends come over and they know that every time they leave, I'm like, oh, you're gonna leave me to my lonesome self. So make sure you guys have friends come over and you are able to just have a life outside of your place. Yeah, what other points would I add on to that? Groceries. Y'all, you need to have money for groceries. You need to set aside money for groceries. Guys, I did not realize how much of a foodie I am until I moved by myself. The amount of money I spend on food, including eating out, it's insane. So I'd say dedicate. Obviously, this is obviously going to take time from your own schedule, but try and come up with, I think now I've come up with the eating plan that I'm going to say, okay, just for this week, this is what I'm going to be eating, this is what I'm going to be eating. So when you do your grocery shopping, have a list of things that you need. So get the main things that you know are going to last in your house, you know, like your rice, your meat. Make sure you stack up on your meat, your chickens, your lentils, your beans, just the foods you know will keep you going. So what I usually do, I cook in bulks. So let's say maybe on a Sunday I'll cook, maybe I can cook like a big pot of rice, and I know that's probably going to get me from Sunday till probably Wednesday, you know. So I have a big pot of rice going, maybe also a stew of meat or whatever, and I know it's going to take me through, if it's just me, I don't eat big portions. So I think if I cook Sunday bulk food, it'd probably get me till like midweek Wednesday. So make sure you're obviously buying groceries and you are stacking up on it, and that you are cooking in bulks. It also just helps you with avoiding having to eat out or to order takeaways. Oh my God, I can't emphasize how much you're going to be tempted to just Uber Eats. And you know what's even worse? Because I have a bone to pick with Uber. Uber, why do you always send notifications telling me about delicious food on your menu? I did not ask to be notified. Why are you tempting me, Uber Eats? Can Uber Eats please respond? Why do you need to send us notifications? Buy one special, get one free. Buy two pizza. Like, you are not helping my wallet at this point, Uber Eats. Okay? So yeah, guys, watch out for that. You could be really, really tempted to order in instead of cooking, but because we want to be money savvy, we want to save, make sure you're cooking in bulks to avoid that, and you're going to eat out when you go out with your friends. Okay, and then just coming on to my last point, I think just the most important thing is discipline. Like, I cannot emphasize the importance of having, if people always ask me like, how do you do it, how do you make discipline in that understanding that there is a time and space for everything. There's a time to eat. Even the Bible says that there's a time to eat, there's a time to laugh, there's a time to drink, there's a time to have fun, there's a time to be serious. There's a time for everything. So you cannot expect to exploit something all the time. You cannot exploit partying Monday to Sunday just because you're living alone. No, there is a time for partying and there's a time for studying. There's a time to get your shit in order. And I think that is what has kept me going, understanding that there is a time for everything, Barbara. And you do not have to do everything at once. You really don't. You absolutely don't have to do everything at once. As much as we are young and this is the time for us to be lit and turned, in a few years' time, where is that going to get us? Will you being lit and turned every day get you to successfully achieve your goals? No, you can't show up for work on Monday or Tuesday if you know you've been partying for weeks. You know, so I think just having discipline is so important. Understanding that you're able to tell yourself, I'm not going out tonight. I'm really not going out tonight. I'm actually going to be indoors. Probably going to Netflix and sleep. All right. Understanding you can tell yourself, today I'm actually going to study. I actually have to study. I have exams coming in 3 weeks. But telling yourself that I'm going to, after this film, I'm getting into my books, I'm studying. Okay. Just giving yourself balance. And with giving yourself balance, you actually become proud of yourself because you're like, oh my God, I actually was able to say no to that. And I'm so proud of myself, you know. So discipline is so, so important. And if you're going to go into the avenue of living alone, you're going to be tempted. There's going to be, guys, temptation is going to be at your doorstep. You're going to have to be able to stand and say, no, I've had enough, or no, this is not for me. I'm not going to do this right now. I should be doing that. And that's how you will be able to successfully stand strong. Discipline is so important. I think it's just important in every aspect of your life. And if you can nail it, you're good to go. Okay. So I think, guys, that just comes to the end of the video. I hope it was informative. I hope it was helpful. Literally, moving out is the best thing you could ever do to yourself. I think the independence, the freedom just motivates you to aspire for more. And it allows you to understand who you are as a person. It allows you to sit with your thoughts and understand, like, no, I don't like this. I actually like that. No, I don't want to go there. And that all happened once you have your independence of living alone and really getting to understand who you are as a person. So go out there, wishing you all the best. See me as your big sister. I survived 1 year. I'm hoping to clock many more years, but it's going to be scary. It's going to be hard, but nothing is worth the risk without trying. So go out, have fun. Please do share your experiences with me. I'm so happy. We'd be so happy to hear just your stories and how it goes. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.